last couple of days have been kind of a whirlwind. I went into work on Saturday and met somebody that did 2 VIP rooms with me, and I don't know how this came about, but he said eventually he wanted to see me outside of work, and I told him, I could go hang out with him. I told him it would be $500, and it'd be $500, and we could go do whatever, walk around hotels, go drink, whatever. We ended up doing mushrooms and stayed up literally all night. I mean, all night. I don't think I got back until like 7 or 8 in the morning, and I was fucked up. Like, I was super fucked up, and like not in a good way at all. And I couldn't go to work. And I had talked to some guy that had told me he wants a sugar baby. I have no intention of being anyone's sugar baby, but at least not like for sex. If someone wants to pay me for time, that's great, but I'm not sleeping with anybody for it. And this guy had made it clear to me that he had sugar relationships in the past, and flat out told me he would spoil the tar out of me, like he'd spoil whatever the heck out of me, I don't remember. And it's so funny when guys say that. Like, I just need to ask them, could you please give me your definition of spoil, because you and I might have a very different definition of spoil, and we probably do. So I told him I would come over for $500, and I started to get the feeling he definitely was thinking I was gonna have sex with him. And I was like, well, I was just thinking I could come over and we could hang out and I could get to know you to see if, there's potential for a relationship here or not. Which I already know there's not. Not a sexual relationship, period. But that doesn't mean that I couldn't go and make money and I'm not trying to screw him over. I would have danced for him and, yada, yada, yada. It would have been fun. Would have been fun for him anyway. So, he tells me, he's like, well, $500 is a lot. Like, I thought that more was going to happen. And I was like, we should just skip it then. Like, let's just forget it. Oh, well. And he was like, well, you could still come over and do dances for $300. And I was so fucking tired. I'm still so tired. Like, right now, it's 6:15 in the morning. And so he said that, and the day before, when I had met this other guy that paid me to take me out, we, did it for $500, and one of his friends came in the room. We came back up to the room, and I was getting ready to leave, and one of his friends came up in the room and started asking me about getting a date with a stripper. And I was like, I said, well, how much do you have to spend? And he goes, not that much. I mean, about $500. And I said, that's perfect. And so did the guy that his friend that literally just paid me $500 to go on a date. So I said, I was like, no, that's actually perfect. I was like, yeah, I can look for a girl for you. I can find you a date. I specified date. And apparently, so I just left there. Apparently his idea and my idea of a date are very different. So, oh my God, he was not very entertaining. Just very surface level kind of person. I just did not enjoy my conversation with her. It was very boring. It was just so boring. So I had him pay me up front, and he was like, you're not gonna, you know, dip out on me or whatever. I was like, I would never do that. Like, that's just not who I am. And he was like, okay. He was like, I think you know, I can tell, like, you're a good person, whatever. And so we hung out on this long ass date. I got there at 1. I didn't leave till like 5:30. And I wanted to make sure I put in enough time so that he was, you know, content with having spent just, you know, $500 on me. So we go back up to his room. He was like, we went and got something to eat, and then we went and got a drink, and then he was like, let's go back up to the room after this. And I was like, okay. And I thought he wanted to cuddle or some shit, and I was not gonna do that. I was not gonna cuddle with him. That was never, you know, on my list of things to do. And so he comes to try to cuddle in my fucking seat, and I was like, no. I was like, no. I was like, we won't both fit. It'll be very uncomfortable. Plus, he smells like fucking cologne, and I cannot stand cologne. I hate it so much. I hate it so much. So he asked me, I said, to be honest, I was like, I really need to get going. I was like, it's past 5. It's going to take me like an hour to get home, and I'm really tired. I said, I haven't slept literally at all since the night before. I haven't slept in a wink since the night before. Laid in bed and, you know, whatever, but haven't slept at all. So he comes up to me and gets down on his knees in front of me. What the fuck, dude? I literally almost just ran into the front of my car. Okay, so he said he gets down on his knees in front of me, you know, like kneeling up or whatever. And he was like, well, don't we have some things to do before you go? And I was like what? And he goes, you know, like, have some fun. And I was like, what did you have in mind? You know, in my mind, I had way fulfilled our agreement, and he said, like, have sex. And I was like, oh no. I was like, no, I told you I could get you a date. I said, I never said anything about anyone having sex, because I was looking for another girl for him. But then he had told me he liked me, so I was like, well, fuck it. You know, I'd just been out with his friend the day before, but it's, you know, whatever. I'm an entertainer. That's what I do. So I was like, no. I was like, that was not, I said, I clarified date. I used the word date. I said, we were not talking about sex. That was never brought up. And he was like, yeah, but I just thought, you know, I was like, well, I specified date. You might have thought sex, but wanting something, he goes, well, I mean, of course I'm going to want more. And I said, yes, but wanting and getting it are very different things. And he was like, yeah, okay. And literally asked me for some of the money back, because he was like, $500 is a lot to, you know, for me to just spend, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I would not have come out here for less than 500. Like, I was still fucked up from the night before, tired, and like, I would not have come out for less. And he was like, okay, you know, I understand. And then he starts telling me about all the different lingo that sex workers use. And I told him, I was like, I don't know why so many people get strippers and sex workers confused. Like, I get it that it's kind of in the same ball game, like we're using fantasy and desire and lust and whatever, but I'm not having sex with people for money. I'm just not going to do it. That's not something I'm comfortable with. So he was like, I didn't think that you were a sex worker. And I was like, I didn't think I gave off that vibe either. You know, I was like, it honestly did not cross my mind that he thought he was going to get sex. that did not cross my mind. I thought I made it clear. This is a date. I made it clear it was a date. And, you know, whatever. So I kept the 500. He asked me twice. He was like, can I just maybe get 100 back? And I was like, no. Like, no. So it ended fine though. It was kind of sad at the very end. He goes to give me a hug, and it's like the longest, like, you know, I need love kind of hug. And I was like, oh, damn it. You know, like, fuck. People need physical touch. They really do. They need it. They need it. They crave it. They crave it. It's interesting. It really is. It's interesting. I never felt like that was me. Ever. I guess in a relationship, yeah, but from a stranger, you know? I mean, he was married, so I guess that's his only option, really, is from a stranger, because, you know, God. Anyway, I'm really happy that that's over, and I am really looking forward to going to fucking sleep and eating and taking a shower, because his really long hug gave me all of his cologne over my shirt. It's disgusting. So, oh my God, I check out of my Airbnb tomorrow, and I gotta find another place to go, but I'm not sure when I'm supposed to go and meet my boyfriend. So I'm pretty proud of myself for the money that I've made so far here. I have a lot more to go. I'm very close to being able to get my mom the hyperbaric chamber. So things are coming along. Things are coming along. I feel sick. I need water. Oh, I need to not smell like this man's cologne. Yeah, apparently the word date in the sex worker community, that was what he told me, I don't know, is hooking up. And I was like, I don't know about you. I was like, but I don't have sex on the first date. And I told you I can get you a date. So I didn't say all this stuff as, you know, bluntly as I'm saying it now. But, you know, I was pretty blunt about it. Like, I don't want to say I wasn't offended when he, you know, was like, well, 500's a lot, you know. And I was like, well, I wouldn't have come out here for less. So, and that's the truth. If he had offered me 4, I don't think I would have showed up. I mean, the other guy offered me 3 to go dance at his place, and I was like, I am too exhausted. But hopefully that's going to be a rain check, because I do still want to do that. But, and I want him to have a really good time. It's so funny. The same guy that was like, oh, I'm going to spoil you, blah, blah, blah. So when I told him 5, he was like, how about 4? And I was like, how about 5? He was like, well, how about 4? And he goes, that's twice as much as I used to pay the last girl that had sex with him. So I don't know what his definition of spoil is, but oh my God, I can't imagine that. I just can't imagine that. Having sex with another human being for $200, like, ugh. You know, no judgment. It really is no judgment. It's just more like, duh, there's gotta be a better way. You know, there is a better way. There's lots of better ways. Like stripping, you know, it's a better way. There's probably lots and lots and lots of, maybe not lots, but anyway. I'm almost to my Airbnb. Oh my. Oh, life.